theme, Value the Past, Embrace Your Future, helps us to remember the past events of our organization while continuing to grow in the future. Our state FFA officers who give reflections in this session understand the importance of past, present, and future success of FFA and agriculture. I am pleased to call upon my fellow officers, Jaelyn Bergmann, Courtney Spencer, Kenny Swope, and Anna Eftink for our session reflections.
And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to sit up all night with a newborn colt and watch it die, then dry his eyes and say, maybe next year. I need somebody who can shape an axe handle from a persimmon sprout, shoe a horse with a hunk of car tire, who can make harness out of hay, wire, feed sacks, and shoe scraps, who planting time and harvest season will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, and then painting from tractor back put in another 72 hours. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody strong enough to clear trees and heave bales, yet gentle enough to yean lambs and wean pigs and tend to pink-combed pullets, who will stop his mower for an hour to splint the broken leg of a meadowlark. So God made a farmer. It had to be somebody who'd plow deep and straight and not cut corners, somebody to seed, weed, feed, breed, and rake and disc and plow and plant and tie the fleece and strain the milk, somebody who'd bale a family together with the soft, strong bonds of sharing, who would laugh and then sigh and then reply with smiling eyes when his son says that he wants to spend his life doing what Dad does. So God made a farmer.
No doubt, many of you guys have seen that video, but how many of you guys actually knew that the words from that video by Mr. Paul Ryan came from a keynote speech from a past National FFA convention? God looked down among his glorious creation in 1928, and he noticed the need for agriculture. He looked down and said, I need someone who will eat it, sleep it, live it, breathe it. And God said, I need a national Future Farmers of America organization. And so it be. In 1928, the first National FFA convention was held in the basement of the Baltimore Hotel in Kansas City, Missouri. He then placed 33 farm boys in charge to shape this great organization and structure it to what it is today. God said, I need somebody who could formulate the colors, set the stage, and shape this blue jacket. God said, I need someone who will continue to get up early every day, feed calves, go work a full day at school, and still have that drive to succeed, and always defend agriculture and agriculture education. And it is said that at every FFA prayer, God looks down among his glorious creation and says, I too believe in the future of agricultures. So God made an FFA member.
Then, in 1969, God looked at the Future Farmers of America and said, it needs something more. It needs a new kind of member. She had to be rough and tough and capable of holding her own. A woman who could feed the cows, tend the crops, and drive a tractor. Who could rope, ride, and wrangle just as good as any man. Then, with the grace and poise of an angel, kindly remind the boys that she is a lady. She would set the example and pave the way for her 9 sisters as the first female member of the El Dorado Springs FFA chapter. My Aunt Diane struck the match of leadership, whose flame has yet to burn out after being passed across the generations. She would be the first of her kind, but by no means the last. So God made an FFA member.
In FFA, we have so many opportunities right at our fingertips. Whether it's running for a chapter office to build some leadership skills, trying your hand at a career development event, or starting your own supervised agricultural experience program. There's so many things we can try. All we have to do is take that first step and try it. Sometimes, that first step is a difficult one. Just this past summer at FFA camp, we were going through a regular day, attending leadership workshops when it was time to break for lunch. A member stood up and gave an invocation in front of the over 200 FFA members at camp that week. We then returned to our normal leadership workshops throughout the day. Later that afternoon, I received an index card from a member that said, "Thanks to FFA, I felt comfortable talking in front of 200 people to give the invocation at lunch today. I've never talked in front of that many people before, but through FFA, I knew I could do it." In FFA, we have so many opportunities. All we have to do is take that first step and try it. So, God made an FFA member.
When God looked into the future, he saw the need for dedicated, hardworking, and innovative individuals. God saw people such as Janet Atkinson and Dr. Terry Hyman as perfect examples to fulfill this need. As a member of the Houston, Missouri FFA chapter, Janet took advantage of many opportunities, including Crete speaking, Farm Bureau speaking, and livestock and dairy cattle evaluation. Janet saw these opportunities as outlets for her to express her agricultural knowledge and to help her find her future path. Janet's desire to make a difference led her to a year of service as a 1993-1994 Missouri State Officer. She attended the Missouri State University to earn a degree in agricultural communications, which led her to a 7-year career as farm director at KMZU radio station in Carrollton, Missouri. Janet now serves as the Vice President-elect of the National Association of Farm Broadcasters and serves as a radio host at RFD in Nashville, Tennessee. Janet credits her FFA experiences to getting her where she is today. Dr. Terry Hyman served as chapter president, sub-district president, and 1966-1967 Missouri State President, while a member of the Salisbury, Missouri FFA chapter. Dr. Hyman learned to listen to others and work with people who were different from himself. While participating in events such as parliamentary procedure or showing hogs and cattle, he learned to set goals and to work even harder to achieve them. Dr. Hyman used the skills he developed through his experiences as an FFA member when interviewing for agriculture teaching positions, and eventually director of the Missouri FFA Association. In his 27 years as director, Dr. Hyman learned that working with people is invaluable and lived by the saying, "None of us is as smart as all of us." Dr. Hyman continues to be a huge supporter of the Missouri FFA Association. in hopes that members will continue to take pride in their membership. When God looked into the future, he not only saw this need, but realized that this need would continue to be in the future. He also realized that the National FFA organization fosters students to fulfill these roles. So, God made an FFA member.
The American farmer.